Monaco Grand Prix, Sunday, May 24th on NBC. Let's send it to Georgia Lindsay on the GoPro starting gate.
Yes, the day is nearly over and we're on that second 450 race, and I'm joined by the number 4 of Blake Baggett. Now, Blake, moving from 250s to 450s, you're an outdoor guy. You had a good Supercross season, however, and coming into outdoors, what's your thoughts on what's going to happen?
It's definitely, it's a big bike. It's a big change from the lights bike, but just trying to keep it steady and make it through all 24 rounds, but slowly work our way towards the front.
Blake, and on the other side of me, the 23 of Weston Pike. Weston, you have gone from privateer and you're all the way up now at JGR. You've had podiums in Supercross and you've really, been working hard and hard. You said to me you got a nutritionist now. Things have been changing up. And that first moto, you had a good start. You're running in third for a while.
It's been a good season. With JGR signing me, I've been feeling really comfortable and super stoked with the whole team. Everybody's awesome, and I did a lot of off-season stuff, training harder, and just get my life together. I got a factory ride and have the money to be able to do everything right. So got off to a good start in first moto, had a few problems, but looking forward to second moto and getting out there and getting on the podium.
He's my dark horse, that's for one, the number 23 of Weston Pike. And stay tuned for Moto 2 that is coming right up.
Serious business here. Nice line to the outside for Tomac. Ryan Dungey not able to take advantage of that though because of this. And we're on board with Reed getting elbowed around into turn 1 behind Tomac. Checkered flag is out. Ken Roxon sweeps Hangtown. Malcolm Stewart down. He'll put him on the inside. This one. They make contact. Dungey is going to steal the moto win and the overall at Glen Helen. Side by side, they're going to scrub together. Whoa! And Roxon goes down. He dominates Redbud, going 1-1. Ken Roxon is your national champion in the 450 class.
The 2015 450 class is deep with championship pedigree.
Ryan Dungey takes the win.
5-time national champion Ryan Dungey. Defending series champion Ken Roxon. Former world champion Christophe Purcell. Former 250 champs Blake Baggett and Eli Tomac. Today, these men lead the field to the starting gate as they take the first step in their championship journey. 450 Moto 2 is live from Hangtown.
And this 450 Moto 2 should be a good one. We can show you what happened in the first 450 Moto of the day, which took place a little over an hour ago. Jason Wygant and Grant Langston will take you through it. Here are your highlights from that first 450 race. Ryan Dungey in the middle on the number 5 grabs your motorsport.com hole shot. Shooting around the outside to number 3 of Eli Tomac. Cole Seeley goes down, hurt his leg here. Not a huge injury, but enough to knock him out of the moto. There's Tomac getting stuck behind some lap traffic. He was trying to maintain the lead over Dungey. Dungey kept him honest for most of the way. Meanwhile, your defending series champ Ken Roxon came in here with a back injury, was just trying to grit it out and score some points. He would do exactly that. He'd get, I believe, 1 championship point finishing, or 2 championship points finishing 19th in that moto. Tomac goes on to win over Dungey. Jason Anderson would finish 3rd. We'll show you the results here as we prepare for our second moto. We're going to combine these results with the race we have coming up. Determine overall winners for the day. Baggett finished right behind Anderson for 4th, and Christophe Purcell in his debut for Husqvarna in the 450 class finishes 5th. So that's the story from the first half of the day. How will it unfold in Moto 2? Find out next. Back here at Hangtown, now we talk about how critical the start is in motocross, but if you don't get a good one and you pass a lot of riders, we will recognize you via Deltran Battery Tender's RC Hard Charger Award. That's named in honor of Ricky Carmichael, the greatest of all time. And each week we'll talk about the rider that passed the most riders in a moto. So next week we'll find out who did it this week and give him an award then. Here's the racetrack at Hangtown, Kawasaki track map.
You want to get that all-important hole shot, make that left, sweep in the right. We saw Seeley go down in that corner. Nice jump down to the low part of section. You make this left, come back up the hill over the big Mo jump. It's like a left-hand hip jump, sharp right, sharp left, chicanes the section where they have split lanes. make a right, and then go up the hill to the highest point of the track, go over the Dirt Diggers ski jump, top part of the track in front of all the fans, then back down the hill, hard on the gas, which leads to hard on the brakes. Turn right. This section right here has become very tricky. We've seen a lot of riders going down through these rollers, ruts leading up to them. They will be tricky in this moto. Turn left, top the hill. Another one of the elevation drops down. Right, left. Then coming into this next section, split lane, go inside, go outside. You can triple on the outside or double on the inside. But for these guys, they want to jump that all-important Fly Racing 150-foot triple step up. Make a left down into this corner. Another decent-sized jump. And then this right-hand sweeper usually gets really rough. And then this part right here, very steep, technical step up right there. Then you step back down into the kind of stadium area. And then this section, a half pipe. Really interesting. We've seen some cool passing over the old finish line through the Fran Mechanics area. Make a right, and that's a lap at Hangtown.
Now, if you put in the fastest lap on that Hangtown track, we'll give you the Bud Light Fastest Qualifier Award. There was no doubt about it this morning. Eli Tomac collected that. He was over 2 seconds quicker than anyone else. Let's show you what it's like to be on this track. We got Weston Pike with our GoPro Hero 4Cam on board from the first moto earlier today.
Well, it shows you what it's like when you do not quite get the whole shot. Slips up the inside. Great damage control there. Look at that. Pike comes around that first turn, or second turn, sorry, in third position. Oh, not quite able to get on that jump. Not sure if Seeley maybe clipped his rear or something there. See this track, hear that? Oh, just listen to that. Oh, that roost. I always like to be quiet so you can hear it when you're at home. These guys leave with bruises on them. This is that split section. But all three of the front riders go on the left. You see the option there on the right. That looks like Blake Baggett, unable to make the pass. This comes up to that long uphill climb where you're just eating roost. You see all the fans. They're out here in tens of thousands. Back down the hill.
It's your KTM keys to the moto, Grant.
Well, keys to the moto. We're looking at the number one, but bike setup. We said that before. You've got to get the bike dialed in. We've come out of the indoor racing. So now get your bike dialed for the outdoors. And sometimes guys think they got it dialed and they get to and they realize they're off. And that helps get a rhythm early. If you want to get a rhythm in this track, without a rhythm, you're going to struggle and hit every bump. And the third one, which may be the most important for Ken Roczen, Roczen needs to score points. He's the defending champion. He got 2 in the first moto. Not what he wanted, but we've said it before, Jason. Every point counts, and right now he is soldiering through a bad back. Let's see what he can do in the second moto. The first moto, he definitely struggled. Is he feeling better? Is he tighter? We'll have to wait and see.
Track's going to be rougher, too. This is a yeoman's effort for Roczen just to try to score whatever points he can with the back injury. Let's see how he does. He and 39 others in this second moto. It's a Kawasaki. Chad Reed's going to lead him in. Who's going to get the official hole shot? Eli Tomac steals it. Motorsport.com money coming his way. Reed in second. Ryan Dungey quickly to third. Justin Barcia in blue on the outside, fourth. Jason Anderson, Brett Metcalf there as well, but it's Tomac to the point position again.
He snuck that one out from Chad Reed, that whole shot.
Oh,
Tomac
on the track.
Lands right on that loose dirt that's been pushed to the outside. The cush, as we call it. Oh, there's Roczen. We see him with a much better start. So, will this affect the adrenaline for Roczen? I mean, can he fight through this now that he's up there? Reed makes a slight bubble, pulls it back. Can he close it inside up from Barsha? Nope, Barsha puts the bike there. That's a very tough jump to make it and get to the inside. You make one little mistake or don't land correctly, you bounce wide, leave the door open. Look at Roczen, carries that momentum down the hill to the outside. Not quite able to make it happen, but right here, look at the guys. Very treacherous. Those ruts are absolutely brutal. And they're only going to get worse as this motor goes on.
Bad back and all. Roczen is fighting his way forward. Fighting through Anderson. Now trying to get around Reed. Barsha up to third on the blue 51. This is a totally different Ken Roczen here in Moto 2.
He looks fired up right there.
Wow.
Gets a pass done. Chad Reed, he's a gritty competitor. You know, that's not an easy move. But Roczen definitely looking a lot more racy this moto. And oh, they go for it. Barsha comes up barely short. About 148 feet,
yes.
I would estimate. But Roczen gets over it. And that's key for Roczen. If you're going to jump stuff like that, you've got to hit the downside because it's only going to help the joints and especially the back.
So Barsha bounced off the end of that Fly Racing 150-foot jump, still able to hold on to third, dealing with some pressure from Roxon, third and fourth. You don't see Dungey and Tomac. They are already starting to get away.
What's crazy is how spread out it is already just in the first lap. You got a battle for the lead, you got a battle for third that we're watching, and then there's another gap. So top guys definitely getting a little more spread out. When we see in the 250 class, it's
a
just,
dogfight.
you could throw a blanket over 7 guys in one corner at a time. Oh, we got yellow flags.
Does this mean we potentially have a red flag out?
Well, I think they would have thrown the red flag by
They're
now.
still racing. Okay, there's a rider down in that section, so they're just trying to keep the riders away from there. It's not a red flag. We're not going to have a restart. They were just being extra cautious through there because the rider was down in the first turn. So let's reset it. It's still Tomac, Dungey, 1-2. Barsha, Roxon, Anderson top 5. Reed pushed back to 6th. See this battle right here now. Metcalf and Porcel. Great racing early in this second moto. Let's send it down for Georgia trackside.
Yes, well, of course, now we have the bigger engines, the bigger bikes out on track. And I'm just next to the Fran Mechanics area, and I can tell you what, you could stand in it and miss half of my body. The ruts are getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and it's so rough. There's a lot of bouncing around. And like you guys were talking about Ken Roxon, I cannot imagine how much pain he's going through. But is that pain, you know, when you're up in the top 10, do you forget about that? I mean, Grant, if you had an injury that you just pushed through because you've been doing good?
I do believe that the pain might not be less, but he's feeling it less. It's probably more, but adrenaline is a crazy thing, man. When you're up front and you're challenging, you forget some of those things. I shouldn't say even forget. It just becomes like a blocker. And so for Ken Roxon, you know, someone that would like to see the defending champ mix it up the front, guys, I hope he digs deep, goes and has a better motor than the first motor, because, you know, walking away with just a few points, that's really tough to come back to. It's very doable. Plenty of racing to go.
Let's update you on this battle here. You got Reed, who just hopped that Fly Racing 150-foot jump. He is in 7th. Anderson 5th, Pike 6th, Reed 7th. Behind him, he's battling with Porcel in the 377. Metcalf is 9th, and Baggett 10th. These are the riders that you're watching in a battle right now. Basically, 6th through 10th is a dogfight.
Oh, you see Reed getting over that jump. See the guys with the way that rut is thrown them. They're basically leaning into it and then having to use a lot of body English to pull the bike back, because when it rebounds in the air, it wants to go to the outside of the track. Pulls it back in. But that's key. That's a lot of skill, talent, and commitment to do that lap after lap.
Actually, Nicoletti, you see the blue bike there, number 46. He has gotten around Baggett, so that'll put him in 10th, push Baggett to 11. And Nicoletti wants more. He's tucking to the inside, trying to get around the green 24 of Metcalf. And now Baggett comes back after Nicoletti and steals 10th.
Great battle in the top 10.
So good racing here. Georgia, what do you have on the number 46?
Yeah, we know that during Supercross he was in and out of racing, but this season he's in for all 12 rounds on the JGR bike. But what's kind of cool is that he's been riding at Barsha's house with him, and he said, honestly, they have so much fun riding together. They get on really well, and they push each other to their limits. And as you can tell, we can see that it really has improved his riding, and it's given him a good partner to work with, and especially when it's your teammate.
Yeah, Nicoletti's and Nicoletti goes down. What happened there?
Well, you see the top of the berm just broke away. Nicoletti gets in, and when guys come in, especially under braking, there's a lot of pressure on that front wheel because the suspension's compressing under braking, and just broke away the top of the berm, and unfortunately just tucked the front end. Simple fall, but cost you valuable time.
Battle for third still raging. Barsha on the blue, and the yellow is Roxon. Whatever they did to Roxon between motos, I'll have what he's having. He looks 100%. This is much more like the Ken Roxon we're used to seeing, and he was riding so stiff and just laboring through the first moto. Here we are an hour later, much stronger. Barsha trying to fend him off. Barsha on the inside.
Roxon not following there, goes a little bit long way around, loses just a couple bike lengths, and I'm wondering if maybe he won't have that same issue in the first moto, which seems like just tightened up, meaning I think he felt the pain and just the continuous pounding that you do as an athlete in the sport of motocross. I mean, Jeremy Martin might have been riding on a pillow, but for Ken Roxon, he feels like he's riding on a pole right now. Every time he sits down and hits a bump, you know it's just hurting him.
Barsha needs a rebound here. Crashed in Moto 1. Did not finish. 35th place is what he was credited with. That's 0 points. So this would be big for him to finish third in the second Moto and try to get his season on track. It's very rough in Monster Energy Supercross for him. Anderson comes through in 5th. That's the white Husqvarna. Then it's Pike in 6th on the blue 23. Reed 7th, Metcalf 8th, Porcel 9th, Baggett 10th. George talked to Pike before the Moto. This is the Cinderella story. This guy was a privateer who at one point was basically a guy that would get lapped in the motos. And I like to say he's basically gained an entire lap of speed over the last couple of years. And now he's not only on the lead lap, but he generally runs up front. You don't normally see someone improve that dramatically in this sport. Usually, you know, the guys that come out of the amateur ranks that have the talent, the speed, those are the guys that stay up front throughout their career. Pike has come from basically nowhere to become a front runner. 6th place right now. Anderson ahead of him in 5th. Roczen and Barsha still battling 3rd and 4th. And the guy we're not mentioning much, just another superb performance up front. Eli Tomac making even the 150-footer look easy. And he has 15 seconds over your 2-time champion, Ryan Dungey. Tomac just on another level so far today at Hangtown. Stanley Cup playoffs are on NBC and NBCSN. The Blackhawks and the Ducks, they're going to face off in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals tomorrow at 3 Eastern on NBC. Every game, every night. Don't miss a moment. Eli Tomac, an incredible performance here at Hangtown. This is a clinic of how to ride a rough, choppy motocross track. But we always knew that Tomac could go fast. I think the real wonder for him was, would he be able to get good starts today? You'll see the motorsport.com whole shot replay, not too shabby.
Well, here's the answer to your question. Looked like Reed had to come into the turn, and then Tomac steals it by a matter of inches. Let's take a look from the side. Wow. Yeah, that's less than a foot, so I was right in inches. And I've said it before, Tomac with good starts is lethal because he can do this kind of stuff. As we take a look back, that is not your second place rider. That is a lapper.
Wow.
So the gap that Tomac has right now, astronomical. It is 25 seconds over Ryan Dungey, a 5-time national champion. So it just shows you the pace that Tomac is riding at today. But if there's one thing I have to give Dungey credit for, even on his bad days, he's so consistent. He might look at today as an average day, but a 2-2 to start the season, great way to start. There's many opportunities to come. Good ride for this guy too. Justin Barsha rebounding from that first moto.
Yeah, he crashed out of that one. Didn't score any points. He's back in a great battle with Ken Roczen for 3rd. Barsha was pretty quick in practice earlier today, so I talked to him and he said, you know, I'm just trying to get things rolling, trying to get in the groove. Tough season of Supercross. I think he's really in that search for confidence right now. He just needs that one good finish to kind of get the momentum on his side. This could be it, but Roczen is not going to make it easy on him. Roczen had finished 19th in the first moto, riding with a bad back. He looked to be in so much pain in our first moto earlier today, and here he is, much better in Moto 2, 4th. Okay, yeah, Tomac and Dungey are far ahead. If you're Roczen, you're just trying to score some points. You worry about battling those guys somewhere down the road. So you have 2 riders who really want this 3rd place position is what we're getting at.
This would be a remarkable comeback for Ken Roczen. This, you know, maybe round 12 in Indiana, we're talking about championship outlook. And if he's in it, we're going to look back at this moto and say, that may have saved his season.
Yeah.
Because 4th gets you a lot more points than the 19th. So for Roczen, especially, imagine if he gets around Barsha, that would be a huge accomplishment to get on the podium for a moto, get some mediocre points. We'll leave it at that. You know, basically almost for him, a 19th and a 3rd is almost the equivalent to a moto win and a DNF. So for him, he would look at it, hey, I've got some solid points. There's still much more racing to come.
But if Barsha or Roczen slow up at all, Pike's going to be the one to try to take advantage. Here he is up to 23. He's 5th. He has gotten around Anderson. Anderson was 3rd in the first race earlier. He's been pushed back to 6th. There he is on the white Rockstar Husqvarna 21. It should be Brett Metcalf coming through next on the Kawasaki. Still, all in all, a good debut on the 450 for Anderson. Looking to go 3.6 potentially, but we got a long way to go in this moto, and you got a hungry pack back here. Brett Metcalf, the veteran out of Australia, just never gives up. 7th place right now. Behind him, 8th, is Baggett on the number 4. There's Baggett. So a good battle here. 7th and 8th. Behind him is Reed in 9th, and Porcel in 10th. A lot of hype for Baggett today because he's really been good at this track on the 250. But when Georgia talked to him on the line before this race, he admitted this transition to the 450, it's going to be a big transition. And what's funny is, Grant, you said it at the top of the show, the lap time's not a huge difference between a 450 and a 250. Even if you put them on the scales, they're not a huge difference. But to ride them, it's a lot different.
Yeah, it really is. 450s, and I use the word inertia because I think it's just, they're only about 15 pounds, probably heavier on average.
That's less than 10% heavier. It's not double the weight or anything like that.
Exactly. Yeah, let's call it 10% heavier. But when you ride the bike, it's probably 30% more physical. As we see, Baggett makes a pass to Metcalf. Look at these guys searching at the edges of the track, really flirting with those yellow stakes that mark the edge of the track, trying to find a smooth line, especially in these sections that are so deep and rutted and rough. As the motor goes on and guys are looking for just a little bit of a break from just hitting all the bumps.
All right, we're halfway through. 15 minutes down, 15 minutes to go. And in 15 minutes, you can either win a moto if you're Eli Tomac, or for the rest of us mortals, you can call Geico and save 15% on your motorcycle or your car insurance. Use that word inertia. We don't want to get too technical on you here, but basically it's a weird thing about riding a motorcycle which you have to balance on your own. The spinning engine parts, the bigger the engine parts are, the more resistant the bike is to being leaned over and turned and changing direction. So heavier engine parts make a bike want to go straight instead of turn. So it makes the bike feel heavier than it really is.
Also, because of the power these 450s have, if you're too aggressive on the throttle, too aggressive on the brake, because of that inertia and the power, the bike can really rock and be unsteady. Whereas on the 250, you're hanging on the throttle, and you usually got the rear squatted because you're on the gas.
Okay.
But the 450, it's a lot to do with body positioning, throttle control, suspension. Suspension is so critical in this class. I always used to say in the 250s, horsepower is probably more important than the handling. Whereas in 450s, they got the horsepower. You want it to handle. You got to have a good balance. And we're talking not just suspension, but chassis, clamps, linkages, all the little things that these guys do. Even something we don't talk about very often, but the wheelbase. You can move that rear wheel back and forward, and a couple millimeters makes a big difference on the balance of the bike.
We're watching Porcel here. He's under attack from Tickle, trying to hold on for a top 10. Rockstar Husqvarna against the Jimmy John Soaring Eagle Suzuki. And this guy's going to probably slug it out right to the end for 10. Eli Tomac and the Geico Honda. Dominant performance here at the opening round of Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Second generation athlete. His dad, John Tomac, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, mountain bike racer in American history. And Eli came through the ranks as an amateur superstar, but was really interesting. His dad always backed him down a little bit, didn't really push him too hard as a kid. He's really coming to his own now as a pro. And Georgia's down with his mechanic in the Fran Mechanics area.
Yes, I'm down here with Brian. Now, your preseason testing, you're practicing with him. Did you have any idea that Eli would have this big a gap on Ryan Dungey and the other riders? Did you know before you came into the season that he was capable of this?
We know we put in the work and we definitely prepared for this, but you never really know till the gate drops. But everything's clicking right now for us. He's been fast since the first lap of practice, so we couldn't be happier with how this first round's going.
Congratulations so far, Brian. Thank you.
I think one of the things that's been almost forgotten about with Tomac is this is only the second year for him in the 450 class, and he missed half of the Supercross races last year with injury and just about half of the motocross races last year. So you kind of wait. He was good last year. He did win a race when he came back. He was on the podium a lot. But you got to figure he's going to keep improving because he's still relatively new. So you're seeing how much better he's gotten in 1 year's time. Battle for third. Oh, sorry, it's fourth. Barsh has gotten away from Roczen. It's the other Auto Trader JGR Yamaha rider, Pike, who's in there battling Roczen for fourth. Roczen on the Soaring Eagle, Jimmy John Suzuki. And either way for Roczen, 4th or 5th, that's going to be great points for him considering he's riding with a bad back injury. Pike's an animal, though. If he gets a hold of you, he immediately starts looking for lines. He's not known for waiting for openings, so we'll see how he plays in here.
I just want to mention the lap times. We've talked about Tomac's dominance today. His last lap was a 2:08. The next fastest guy was Barsha at barely a 2:14. Pretty much everyone's in the 2:14, 2:15 and above range. That's 7 seconds.
7 seconds
on average to the competition around him on that last lap. So Tomac has stretched his lead out to 52 seconds.
7 seconds in an entire 30-minute moto is a pretty solid lead. He's doing that on every lap.
Just about. And that's why, you know, Roczen's doing a stellar performance here, holding off Pike. You know he's really gritting. You can see he's in pain. I mean, I can actually almost see his facial expression.
Pike goes by.
And right now, I don't know if he's going to even fight for that, because we saw the first moto. As the moto went on, it's almost like he's getting in more pain. I'm assuming that the back's tightening up, and he's just not quite able to hold on. And look at him avoiding as many bumps as he can. Roczen, a very intelligent rider, so he'll stay out of the rough stuff. He's smart enough to know how to nurse his back injury through this moto. But if he still finishes where he's at in 5th place, he's got to hold his head up high, because only he knows what he's going through right now.
It's really still an impressive performance by Roczen. It was so bad, the back injury, I think it was, what, 24th or so fastest of qualifying. Barely got points, barely finished in the top 20 in the first moto. It was so bad that I had to ask our producer if he even went to the line in the second moto. I wasn't sure he would even come out. And not only did he come out, he came out much better. And he's in the top 5. Now we have another battle between the BFFs of Anderson and Baggett. These two don't really like each other, and they battled right down the wire in the first moto for 3rd. They're battling down to the wire here in the second moto for 6th and 7th. But when we do the math, combining both motos, I believe this is going to be a battle for the overall podium. Amazing how this works sometime in motocross. These guys, there's one guy that Baggett doesn't want to get beat by, it's Anderson, and vice versa.
Well, little personal motivation for both these guys. And not to mention, besides that, just being on the podium, the opening round. Nothing better than leaving with a trophy, some confidence, some momentum, and just something to hang your hat on and go, okay, that was a good weekend. We can do better, but that was a great start. When you're 4th, it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. 4th sucks. I'll tell you straight up. I hated 4th place. It was the worst spot, because it was like that carrot was dangling in front of you, and then they took it away.
I wonder if these guys know. I'm sure they just want to beat each other in the moto. Do you think they've realized that this is overall podium or anything like that, or is that too much math to do while you're riding a motorcycle at speed?
They may not know exactly what's going on, meaning for the overall, but riders are smart. They know pretty much where their competition where they finished, where their competition was. And if they don't exactly know right now, I guarantee you the pit boards are saying for Anderson, you need this for the podium. And for Baggett, it's saying kind of the same thing. So both these guys, they know they need it. They're going to hang it out, and they know they're knocking on the door either way for a podium. So
Georgia, can you see the pit boards down there?
I'm staring at the pit board right now.
Okay.
Baggett's mechanic has written on the pit board, need 21 for podium.
Oh.
He's sticking it out as we speak, and they're passing right next to each other, hitting that gnarly track, going around this corner. Oh, Anderson nearly made a mistake and brake checked him. Look at that.
Like we said, they're not exactly best of friends. And look, a little game of cat and mouse, they call it, stopping on the track, slowing each other up. Well, it worked. Anderson was able to hold him off in 2 consecutive corners where it looked like Baggett had the pass made.
Oh, that's going to fire both these guys up. Baggett thought he had it there. Now he goes the long way around. Can he actually execute it? Anderson's got the inside shorter line. He has a look back.
I think he knew that inside wasn't going to work. And then he was just worried about someone else getting him. So Baggett shoots past. Well, the pit board worked. Told him he had to get 21, and he did.
Wow, that's kind of what I was alluding to. If they didn't know for sure, the mechanics make sure they know 100%. Every mechanic I've ever had said to me or let me know what I needed, what I wanted and what I needed.
All right, so Baggett looking to be 3rd place overall for the day. Tomac making the math easy up front. 2 moto wins. That's going to be first overall. NAMA Pro Motocross will be back next Saturday at 7 Eastern. We're headed to Glen Helen right here at NBCSN. That's Southern California, the heart of motocross. Again, that's next Saturday, 7 Eastern, live on NBCSN. And this is the rider that everyone will be aiming for, Eli Tomac. And during our break, Grant, you were saying how much Tomac must like Hangtown. He's won here before. He seems to really like it, even running the Hangtown logo on his gear. Georgia, what's up with that?
I was just speaking to the Dirt Diggers guys and also to his mum, Kathy Tomac. I guess this is #1, one of his favorite tracks. So that's why he wanted to do it in the first place, was he loves this track, he wanted to support them. But also it was the first time he won his first overall here. And the Dirt Diggers guys said that if he wins the overall again today, it's going to be one of the best races they've ever had at Hangtown.
Well, it looks like he's on his way to doing that. This is a dominant performance. A minute 11-second lead over Dungey. We're going to be checking the record books. This might be one of the most dominant wins we've ever seen in the 450 class. And this is over Ryan Dungey, two-time champion in this class, who just won the Monster Energy Supercross Championship. Certainly no slouch. And Dungey had a good start. Unless we missed it, I don't know if he had a big mistake or what.
No.
You don't think so? Yeah.
No,
this is
Tomac's just absolutely obliterated the field. This whole moto, I've been looking at the lap times. He's been averaging over 6 seconds a lap quicker than anyone on the track. That is astronomical.
Teammate battle for third. Barsha 51, Pike 23 on the Joe Gibbs Racing Yamahas.
I always love T-battles because no one wants to slam the teammate, but they really, really, really want to beat them.
Yes.
So sometimes those two kind of mix together, but Pike has a good run. He's got the inside. Can he make it stick? Barsha grabs the handle, goes to the outside. I think that inside right there has gotten so deep. The guys are now avoiding it. But this battle's not over.
No, and this is good for Pike, who started up front in the first Moto and back. Now he's moved forward in Moto 2 to try to grab this Moto podium.
Meanwhile,
Roxon is 5th, back is 6th, Anderson 7th. Tickle, Metcalf, and Freddie Noren round out the top 10. Go ahead.
well, we're looking at this. 2 laps to go. So Tomac, he's on the other end of the track. He's got barely a little over a lap to go. And these guys trying to battle for a podium position. Pike, a minute and a half behind our leader. I just can't stress how unbelievable it is. Oh, Barsha makes a slight mistake there. Don't know if he missed a gear or what, but almost endoed a little bit on that uphill. Not able to get it. Pike not quite close enough to make it happen. But he is lurking right there, waiting for that opportunity.
This is such a good race between these two teammates right now. And like you said, they're going to be maybe a little less aggressive with each other, but you said you don't want to be in the truck as the guy who came out at the short end of the battle. Oh, big mistake from Barsha. Barsha's the kind of guy that shrugs that stuff off, though. He didn't care. Pike going to run it in on him on the inside. Big jump coming up here.
Split. Watch. Barsha to the inside. Pike to the outside. Who's going to make this happen? Oh, Pike gets back to that middle line. Can he hold it? Barsha's got a middle line and the inside. Side by side. Pike grabs a handful, runs a little wide, but he has got it. So Pike now puts himself into a podium position. Georgia even said before the race it was her wild card pick, and he really has had a great moto. Now in a podium position. Good for Weston Pike and the whole JGR team.
Now, we believe we have actually erred in our math for the overall podium. Us and also Blake Baggett's mechanic. Anderson, I think, is still going to edge him out for the overall podium. So Baggett needs one more position, and he's got a shot at it. He's got
Roxon in front of him.
And he might got a pass right here.
Oh,
Maybe they put it on the pit board again.
I was going to say,
you actually need one more.
Yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
I like the last time. This time I'm for real. You need this.
You know what? They're racers. They just want to pass whoever's in front of him. You have an ailing Roxon, a charging Baggett, 2 different Suzuki teams, although the bikes are both considered factory level.
Yeah, on paper they're both the same. It all comes down to rider preference and the crew that work on their bikes, trying to get the setup that they think works and what the rider asks them to put in the bike.
Roxon on the #1. That's a Soaring Eagle Jimmy John Suzuki, and then the Yoshimura Suzuki of Baggett. This is for 5th in the moto. For Baggett, it would unlock third overall for the day when we combine the results. Whatever. We'll just watch this battle as we're on the last lap. See if Roxon can hold Baggett off. Just can't say enough what a great, gritty effort it is by Roxon, your series champ. Come back after 19th in Moto 1, clearly a bad back injury, and to be better in the second Moto, you figure he would just be feeling worse after doing 35 minutes on a rough motocross track.
Well, I think anyone that's ever had a back injury can attest. You have good days and bad days, and maybe in motocross you have good motos and bad motos. I don't know, but backs are a weird deal, and it's nice to see Ken at least be able to look like he's competing, and he's putting on a very gritty performance, because we know this is not the normal Ken Roxon, as they're about to get what would be the white flag.
Tomac's already got it. Yeah, that's how far ahead he is. Yeah, seriously. We're watching Noren here in the 39 in a battle with Brayton, and this is for top 10. Noren's 10th, Brayton's 11th. Go back to our leader with a half a lap to go. No, less than a half a lap. Tomac's already there. That's how far up in the field he has gone. He lapped into the top 10 of Moto 1. He dominates Moto 2. Eli Tomac leaving no doubt who the man is here at Hangtown. Lapped 9th place.
That is unbelievable. There's only 8 riders on the lead lap.
Yeah.
And we have time to talk before Ryan Dungey comes across. And I'm sure even if you're Ryan Dungey, this is not your favorite track. He's got to be a little concerned with the dominance of Tomac. And Tomac's weakness, in my opinion, has been his starts in those opening couple laps. And now with good starts, he shows you what he can do. So this is going to be a fun outdoor season. Hopefully Kenny gets back. Look,
He's already
Kenny racing.
We're watching battles out on the track, and Tomac's already cooling off. Just a great performance by him today, throwing down the gauntlet. We'll see next week if any of the other boys can come at you. Eli Tomac has already had a chance to get cleaned up, smile for the camera, get the hat on. He had a minute-plus lead on the entire field here in our final 450 Moto of the day. Here's your Lucas Oil race recap. Chad Reed on the green 22. Good start, but Tomac's just going to edge him out for the Motorsport.com Hole Shot Award. Reed on the Discount Tire 2.2 Kawasaki, who just struggled to stay in the top 10 today. Also struggling Ken Roxon with a bad back injury, but a much better performance for him in this second Moto. He would eventually finish in 5th. He was 19th earlier today, so that's still a huge improvement for your champ, considering the injury. But there was simply no stopping Tomac, who would win by 1 minute and 31 seconds. That's one of the biggest victories, margins of victory I've ever seen in this 450 class. That's unreal. Here are your results. Pike able to fight his way past his teammate Barsha for 3rd. Baggett 6th, Anderson 7th. I think that's going to be enough to put Anderson on the overall podium. Tickle, Metcalf, Noren in the top 10. Let's send it to Georgia.
Okay, guys, well, I'm kind of speechless for once in my life. I'm not quite sure what to even say to Eli Tomac. 1 minute, 25 seconds. You've got the Hangtown logo on your jersey right here. You absolutely dominated. Tell me just kind of what happened.
I mean, I guess going to the first moto, went back, made a little change in my front end, and that time my bike was just literally amazing on the track, and I was able to stride loose the whole time and ride like I wanted to. So, man, this is the best start I've ever had in my career, and I'm kind of speechless right now. So, I'm kind of in shock how the day went, but man, it was pretty much perfect, and man, I would just love to do this again at Glen Helen.
Well, I'm going to let you sink in, enjoy the moment. Congratulations, Eli Tomac there, getting the win in the 450 class.
Tomac on top. We'll talk to Dungey in a moment. We're back. Here's your overall here from Hangtown. Ryan Dungey 2nd, Anderson 3rd. Let's send it back to Georgia Lindsay.
Yes, Ryan Dungey clinched that 2nd place overall here at Hangtown. Now, Ryan, moving on to Glen Helen. What for you do you think you're going to be working on?
You know, we're going to work on a little bit of testing. You know, that second moto, we made some changes, just wasn't there. You know, I can reassure you that is not, I mean, you know, we have a lot more than that to give. So, you know, we'll regroup. 2 seconds on the day, not bad at all. Tomac was riding good. He's got things dialed in, working, and brand new bike this year, so we're trying to get things dialed in, but we'll get there, and I got a good team behind me, a team of people, and without them, I couldn't do this. So they're smart. We're going to get to it. It'll be good.
That's great positivity from Ryan Dungey. Congratulations.
Oh, you know, he's going to be there all season long. Fans flooding the podium area now because the champagne's going to shake in just a moment. The math was tough in this one, but it looks like Anderson does have that third place finish. We'll send it back to Georgia.
Jason Anderson, unbelievable. Third on the podium. I tell you what, it's that mustache. It really is that mustache. But huge congratulations, jumping up onto the 450 and first podium of the year.
Yeah, today was a good day at Hangtown, and that second moto wasn't really stellar for me, but, I made it through and ended up on the box. So track was pretty rough, and, just going to try and improve on it as the weekends come and try and just keep building on this 450 season. It's my rookie year, and just going to try and keep getting some more podiums and staying on the box.
Congratulations, third place overall. Well done, Jason.
Here's a Lucas Oil upcoming schedule. We're going to Glen Helen, where Eli Tomac has never raced a national, actually. Missed it last year with an injury. And that's next weekend. We'll have MAV TV and NBCSN providing 4 straight hours of live coverage. That starts at 5 Eastern and then switch over to NBCSN here at 7 Eastern next week. And looks like Georgia's going to try to grab Weston Pike here, who had a strong performance for third in the moto. Just finished off the podium, though, overall. So Glen Helen will be next week in Southern California. Let's go to Georgia.
Yes, Weston Pike, I spoke to you at the beginning of the race and I said that you were kind of my underdog. I thought you were going to do good. Huge changes for you, and this is a great way to start the season.
Yeah, it was great. We made a change for the second moto. We did a lot of suspension changes, and just super stoked the way we went. Ended up going from about 10th to 3rd, and super stoked. The whole JGR, Auto Trader, Yamaha, Pirelli tires, Fly Racing, the whole team just killed it. Everybody made a solid change second moto, so I'm super stoked to get up here on the podium and looking forward to next weekend.
Well, congratulations. Well done, Weston Pike. And I'm just going to run over here to Ken Roxon. Ken, sorry to interrupt going there, but what happened that second moto? You pulled things together and your back was in pain, and I can't believe what an exceptional performance you gave us.
Yeah, it's difficult, I was 10 days basically laying in bed, not doing anything, because turns out I have a stress fracture in my spine, and that definitely didn't feel too great. I was in the hospital on Tuesday and on Thursday, and I didn't think I was going to be able to ride, but I somehow managed to pull through it and managed to get some points. We'll see from here and hopefully get ready again soon.
Well, good luck on rehab, and what a tough ride from Ken Roxon. Well done.
A 19th and a 5th, and you won't find a harder-earned finish than that. That was unbelievable.
That was tough.
Yeah. In the hospital, apparently, a few days ago, a stress fracture in his back. You can't say that these guys aren't some of the toughest athletes in the world. But the toughest one to beat could be Eli Tomac. Dominates here at Hangtown, but as we heard from Ryan Dungey, he feels like he has a whole lot more to give. We'll see if Barsha, Pike, Anderson, Baggett, maybe Roxon gets healthy. Got a long season of Lucas Oil Pro Motocross to go. But for now, we congratulate Eli Tomac and also our 250 winner, Jeremy Martin. Today's victories. For Grant Langston, Georgia Lindsay, I'm Jason Wygant. Round 1 is in the books. You never know what's going to happen next weekend when we go to Glen Helen in Southern California. Will round 2 be different? We'll find out in 7 days.